G.G.Talk, or Gaming and Geek Talk, where we discuss the things we love and hate when it comes to gaming, movies, anime, comics, and etc. So, I'm gathered here by
MonkeyPaws22.
Carmageddon. Hi.
Vodka Knockers.
and me, REMO. And the first topic of the day will be PlayStation 4.5 and the supposed upgradable consoles. Now, what's going on is PlayStation is going to be doing their first new console, and it's not going to be a slim version of what we already have. It's actually going to be 4K, better processing, better graphics. Yeah, supposedly they're going to make upgradable consoles for the Xbox One and PlayStation 4, but we will have to upgrade them ourselves, which is kind of crazy if you ask me. So what are you guys' thoughts and opinions upon this? Me personally, unless they make it really easy to upgrade, I think it's a bad move on their part.
I mean, coming from the PC world, I'm going to have to agree with you. I mean, I can upgrade to be good for several years at a time, but a console, you know, when you buy that, you think you're good until the next one comes out, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, you shouldn't have to, like, you know, it's plug and play. What about you, Michelle or Carmageddon?
I kind of feel like it'll be beneficial to some people that like the concept of like upgrading and modding their systems. I think it'll be more beneficial in that aspect, but for the average gamer to have to go out and spend money on something that, you know, they just want to play the game, but then they're going to come out with new games that require this upgrade and this, I think it's going to be like a more financial hindrance for them than it is just for somebody who's used to, you know, who's really heavily into gaming and enjoys that kind of, you know, customization aspect to their gaming.
Yeah, I agree. I like the fact that right now, any Xbox updates that come out, I can set my Xbox to automatically update, and whenever it happens, it'll usually happen either while I'm at work or something else, and it'll just do that already, and I don't have to worry about it. But to actually have to buy something to upgrade it myself, that to me does not sound like it will end out very well for either Sony or Microsoft.
See, and I tend to agree there. Now, I was wondering, now, hear me out. Do you think it would work if it was once every like 3.5 years, around halfway point of getting a new console, and they made it just, you push it in, you just pop the top off, you push it in, plug it in, and it's ready to go. And let's say the upgradable part's only $60 and it gives you a big boost. And they do that every 3.5 years. Would you be more inclined to do it, or do you still think, like in my opinion, a lot of console gamers are just not going to go for it because they just want to play right off the bat?
Probably. I mean, go ahead.
Okay. No, I was just going to say, I mean, I think the same thing, you know, it comes right back to it. And, you know, you can really see it in, especially, you know, I'm an Xbox One gamer primarily, but we own PS4 and we also have PC, you know, in our house that we game with. And as an Xbox, you know, player, you could see it in the 360 consoles. You can still see it in the Xbox One consoles. You have people that set theirs up specifically for family-related things, and they're not really too heavily into it, you know. And I think it really comes back, like us as a group, you know, yeah, we would go out and do it because we're like $60 for 3 years. Okay, no problem. But, you know, there's also a lot of people that, you know, buy these things for their kids, and they're like scraping pennies to get by. And I think that's where we're going to see like the biggest issue come in. I think that the gamers themselves will make up a majority of the sales and, you know, the benefits for the companies themselves over something like that. But they're also going to need to keep in mind the people that, you know, don't exactly have, you know, a heavy interest in gaming or, you know, the financial backing to do something like that. Because for some people, $60 every couple of years is a big deal.
Now, you think it's a douche move that they're putting out the PS4.5 or the 4K or Neo, so everybody else is going to get the 4K experience and boosted graphics and processing, but everybody else that already bought one might. Yeah.
Well, you also have to remember that Xbox did the same thing. When the 360 was out, they had the original 360, and then I think a couple years later, the Elite came out, which was better.
Oh, so did that one actually have boosted performance and better visuals?
I found that it did. You also had the internal hard drive that you can remove rather than the one that was on the outside that could easily get damaged.
Right.
But yeah, I think with Sony doing that, that would be really bad for them because everybody that already has a PlayStation 4, unless there's going to be some kind of update, I don't know how Sony does it, that will help the PlayStation 4s that are out now
There's not going to be any.
Compete with the other ones.
What they plan on doing is they're going to put a thing into each game where they can lower the graphics for regular PlayStation 4s, or you can buff it to the Neo version. So a lot of people aren't too happy about that right now.
I can imagine why.
Yeah.
I mean, just looking at it from the PC standpoint, I have a desktop. I've pretty much had the same case and stuff, but I've replaced the inside several times, and it's lasted me several years. I mean, what is the shelf life that they're even going to provide with this? Yeah, I know you said about 3.5 years, but at that same time, is it really going to help you out, or is it just going to be, oh, it's in 4K now, so you can play it on that TV that you paid way too much for anyway?
Yeah.
I mean, I really want to know how much more life it's going to give the system, where I buy something, I have to price out and think about, well, is this going to extend the life of the computer as a whole?
Yeah, well, maybe we'll find out at E3. That's where they're going to announce everything about it.
Oh, that's probably true. Now, the other